Brent Metcalf, another world shot. Talk about your wrestling today and the challenge ahead.
Pretty good against a guy who, notoriously, we've had a whole lot of close matches. And you take away that kind of silly 4-point throw I gave him at the first match, and I think you have a pretty larger separation than what's been in the past. So you can feel good about that. You know, it's still figuring out a guy with a strategy like that. It is frustrating for a guy like me, and figuring out how to get on it early and build my lead so that it's 10-0. But, you know, good. It's 7-0 is pretty good against Jordan Albert. I mean, he's a pretty tough opponent.
You've had a good season, but the worlds are ahead, and that's a challenge that is something that you've been hungry for. Talk about, you know, how you're wrestling and what it'll take to be a champion at your next tournament.
Yeah, it's another huge opportunity. It's a huge opportunity here in the United States. It's an opportunity for us as a country to display what sort of horsepower we have as far as wrestling goes. And I think we can deliver a good message to Americans, to American fans, to really help grow this sport and grow what we love doing, which is freestyle wrestling. And you know, it's a huge opportunity for us. I could give you a lot of talk, a lot of, oh, I want to do this. You guys know what I want. You know what I expect. And you know, I dropped a pretty big opportunity last year where I was in great position to do some good things, and it didn't work out. Correct the wrong.
What were you lacking in past World Championships that you have now?
Well, I haven't done anything yet in the World Championships, so
but that makes you believe that you will do well.
That I'm doing it, and I'm beating the guy. I'm beating people. I'm there. I know I'm there, and I'm in the match. And I mean, here's the thing. My results are proving that I can do it, so I know I can do it. I believe in myself, our training, and it's time to do it. You know, it's time. We got now Vegas, and then set yourself up for Rio. You know, two big things here on the horizon. Get ready for them.
But is it one of the biggest keys that you just don't make mistakes that perhaps you might have in the past?
Maybe that's just me, experience. Here's the thing: mistakes probably help me in a match. You know, if I get down 2-0 on a guy who wants to keep it tight, you know, things might go my way. So I'm not worried about not making mistakes. I'm worried about going out and create offense early scores, get on top, turn, build your lead. And then when things happen, they happen, and you adjust from there. So I think to answer that, it's not mistakes. It's just cinching what you're doing, and like you're in on the legs there. I mean, those are positions where Oliver could beat me, and he just doesn't. Outside the one that I lose when I'm trying to get the push out. Don't get the push out, get the finish.
What do you think he was trying to do with those two-hand shoves to the shoulders?
I don't know. I mean, this is our 4th or 5th match that's been his strategy. So I don't know. Maybe go find him in the hallway and ask him what it is. I don't know if he wants me to reach or what it is. And if that's what it is, I'm not going to reach. So I don't know. I probably, you know, my take on it is it slows the match down. It takes a match that's 6 minutes and turns it into really like 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes. Because then you get to the end where there's less of that and someone's got to score, you know? So disadvantage me that way. So I've got to, you know, find a way to get a hold of him earlier and score.
Are you at your best right now?
I'm pretty close. I'm pretty darn close. And I think you want to be at your best come September. So we have some great opportunities with the Pan Am Games coming up here very soon. And then the World Championships where that's where you want to be at your very best. So I feel good. My offense is really stroking right now. My finishes are right there. Just little things for me, hand fight wise, position wise, turns on top wise, and you know, I think you got everything you want.
You've been on the scene for a long time, and you want to continue to improve. What's something technically you want to get better at before Vegas?
Hey, thanks. I think technically an area that I would focus on is I'm always trying to develop some more offense. One, you know, I've got kind of high crotch, single leg, kind of my go-to double leg. There's some other things I'm trying to develop there, and then I think, you know, really the biggest thing is getting turns on top. You know, and that first match I did that, and it ends it. You know, even though I gave up the 4, it was like it was over. You know, the guy's doing desperation. Those turns on top can kill a guy. So developing there, you know, I have a good gut, and my lace is coming along, but get it where it's just unstoppable. Like that high crotch. When I'm in on high crotch, I'm finishing, right? If I get a leg, I'm getting a leg lace, you know? So almost John Smith-like, you know? Guy on top, you're in trouble, sort of thing. So I think that's an area I can really improve and become a lot more dangerous.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna actually ask a quick question too. All right, Brent. So good job. First of all, awesome, man. I'm really excited for you. So another world team for you. So you've got a pretty solid team. You've been on the team with a bunch of guys. What's it feel like to be part of this team? You know, that has some seniority for years past. There's a lot of turnover.
It feels good, and I'm going to maybe give you the same answer, which was we had a lot of seniority last year, and we had a lot of horsepower last year, and we didn't answer the call. So we're in our home turf, our hometown, and we've got our seniority. We got some younger guys in Snyder coming on, and that's good. You know, I think that's a great addition. But it's time to do it. You know, we've got now and then the Olympic Games is really what we have in front of us, and we got to get it done. It's our opportunity right now.
Yeah, and one thing I want to comment on too is like you pretty much this weight class has been pretty weak for us for a long time until you came along, and your first outing wasn't your best, and every year it seems to be getting better and better. And now you seem to be doing your best wrestling that I've ever seen. So, I mean, what does it mean to you to have to like scratch and claw your way and make this weight class something to be respected in the world?
I think you put it on your shoulders to do that. You know, first off, we have a great leader in Jordan Burroughs, who leads the way for the entire United States. So then, as a wrestler and as a competitor myself, you know, you want to take on that role as well. So you're talking about doing that in your weight class, and I've done a pretty good job. I just haven't produced the medals. Things about wrestling, 90% mental, 10% muscle technique or whatever, and I think there goes a lot into that. And kind of the philosophy that I was raised on, and the way that I train is you train hard, you do all the right things, the nutrition, the sleep, the rest, all that, you do it right, and ultimately this is what wins you the match. You know, the guy who wants it more, or this, or this. You know, it's the guy who wants it more on the mat is going to win. And you add in the other things that you do, as far as your preparation and your technique and things, and then that gets you over the edge at maybe the best of the best, or two guys who really want it. You know, but in the end, it comes down to your heart and your will and how bad you want it.
Awesome. Good job, Brent. I'm very proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Good job. Give me a good team.
Yep.
Way to get it done, man. Way to get it done.
What do we got?
What you know, given the fact that you've beaten these guys around the world and you've been right there. Obviously, it's not best of 7 or anything like that. What is that even like, going into that event, knowing that you train 12 months a year for that one event, and you only get, you know, it's not double elimination?
Yeah, I think you minimize it, and just like you do in this tournament or any other tournament you go to, it's one match at a time. You know, who's ahead of me, beat that guy. You know, next guy ahead, beat that guy, beat